is a interesting Chaturthi Tithi of Bhadrapada Masa Krishna Paksha, Aswini Nakshatra. So the Bhadrapada Masa gets its name because the full moon, around the full moon, Purva Bhadra or Uttara Bhadra Nakshatra will come. So after the full moon, what happens is something known as Krishna Paksham. Moon will start diminishing, and moon will completely diminish by Uttara Phalguni. Pubba Uttara Nakshatra, Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, and that is called mahAlaya Amavasya. So the Paksha between these stars of Uttara Bhadra, Purva Bhadra, Uttara Bhadra, Revati, Ashwini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, until the Uttara Nakshatra, this period is known as Pitru Paksha, mahAlayam. So mahAlaya Pitru Paksha is, it signifies the southern direction, or sun has completely turned south, means he started moving south from the northern peak, then started continuing. Parsha Parvartani Ekadasi happens just before this Purnima. So it is the completely gone into the south side. That is the significance of this Paksha. So southern direction, Lord of southern direction is Yama, guided by the Yama is the Lord of Bharani Nakshatra. So in this Pitru Paksha, definitely the Bharani Nakshatra will come in Chaturthi or Panchami Tithis. On the 4th or 5th waning moon phase, moon will be conjuncted, moon will be with Bharani Nakshatra. That is known as Mahabharani. Mahabharani, according to the Drik Panchanga calculations, is today, because today afternoon Bharani Nakshatra will start. But as per the Surya Siddhanta calculations that I follow, it is only tomorrow. So whatever, either today or tomorrow, it is Mahabharani in the mahAlaya Paksha. So what we wanted to kind of reflect upon today is, what is this mahAlayam, and how it is connected to the Pitrus. Who are these Pitrus, and what is this Pitru Paksha? So that is the core topic. So mahAlayam. So it is a great merger. So this mahAlayam happens to an individual Purusha, means this individual soul which is called as Jiva, every day. That is typically known as deep sleep. mahAlayam, deep sleep, deep merger. So once this merger happens, nothing in the world, no objective appearance will be there. So that is layam, merger. What happened to this whole world perceived through the Indriyas, means the Indriya Shakti, the sense organs, through eyes we see, through ears we listen, all objective existence we experience through 5 Indriyas, 5 core powers that make us perceive the external world. Whole world is merged in somewhere, the pure consciousness. Similarly, all these Indriyas Santa, means all this Agni is pacified. There is a dream vision also. So a whole vision will be, whole world will be painted, projected and experienced. That world is projected by the same consciousness, projected in the same consciousness, experienced by the same consciousness. But that cycle of projection, sustenance and merger is there. So that layam is happening there also. As dream projected in the consciousness, same way these lokas, these whole worlds, are also being projected in the Hiranyagarbha, or somebody who is projecting this, the creator, who is projecting in his own pure consciousness. It is the same consciousness, because there is no difference in the consciousness. On the consciousness, the body limitation is projected. Name and body, or the name and form, or these limitations are projected in the pure consciousness, calling it as a limited identity. Of the identity is given by a name, and the identity assumes that given form, and it goes around in that particular thing. So the mahalayam, the great merger, happens on a regular basis when for the jiva also as deep sleep, when jiva passes away from this loka view. So the body is no longer functional, the body can no longer host the individual consciousness. Then the pitru, he will become a preta. Preta means he will be dislodged from the body's consciousness, body's this thing. Then what should happen to that dislodged consciousness that assumed a name and form for that long, and which has consumed so many experiences, performed so many karmas, punya and papa? Where they go? They go into something called a subtle body, that preta's subtle body. That subtle body can take this preta anywhere. So these things are beyond the capability of understanding through the either pratyaksha pramana, through eyes, ears, panchabhutas cannot reveal what happens beyond, or you cannot even imagine. We can only imagine a world which is similar to this world, saying that okay, there may be bigger houses, there may be bigger spaces, there may be much bigger suite, there can be much more beauty, there can be much more experience, much larger, much bigger happiness. These are the only things we can imagine. We cannot imagine something which has never been experienced by any of these things. So how do we know anything about that atindriya jnana? Means beyond the indriyas, jnana or the knowledge related to the which pertains to the ati indriya, which transcends the indriyas and mind's capability, which transcends the capability of this speech. That is known as subtle knowledge, or the sukshma sarira. That knowledge can only be got through the tapas. Rishis have performed the tapas, and they have revealed what is subtle, what is beyond this normal worldly materialistic energy and material based existence. Beyond this energy and material, the pure consciousness, the state of pure consciousness, how it works, how it operates, everything is rishis have given the knowledge in the Shastra. So Shraddha, which means Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satyabuddhya Avadharana, Sa Shraddha Kadhita Sadbhihi. Yaya Vastupalabhyate. Shankaracharya in Vivek Chudamani says this. Means what is Shraddha? Shraddha means faith. Faith in the word of Rishis as Shastras, Rishivakyas, Guruvakyam. So Guru's parampara has come. So what they have said is, yes, there is an antariksham, there is a middle space beyond that, pure consciousness space on the top, pure materialistic space on the bottom, and there is in between, there are a set of Chandra Loka. They are all related to Chandra, Marichis, Lokas are there. There are multiple Pitruganas are there, who are directed towards their godly nature, and they are directed towards the loka. So all the loka's operations in this loka, who should be born, when that person can be born, what experiences they can have, all these things are governed by this pitru devatas. There are Visve devatas who are connected to this pitru devatas. They are pointing towards the devalokas and to the higher realms on the top, and Visvadevas and Pitrudevas, they actually form the NP junction diode kind of a thing. So basically, to connect this whole thing, this world lokas, or whatever lokas in this materialistic worlds where the individual can go and do the karma and experience, learn and confirm the experiences and all those things. This is the loka here. There are the higher conscious lokas are there. We can call them, say for example, Swargaloka, Devalokas. We can keep that Devalokas. Devalokas are there, Manushaloka is there. In between there is a Antariksham is there. Pitrulokas are there. So these Pitrulokas, the Pitrus, they are in the different ganas. There are like Barishada, Ajapa, Somapa, Agnishwat. There are three groups of Pitrus. Amurta means they don't have form. They only exist subtle in names only. They are differentiated only by names, and they have their functionalities. Similarly, there are four groups which have forms. They also have forms, and they have their own four groups of progenies. They will allow them to come into this world and operate. So that is the Pitru Devata space, or that is the Pitru Devata's function. So what they are doing, when this mahAlaya great merger happens, they still protect the Loka and its configuration. Everything is protected by the Pitru Devatas. They continue to operate. So, for example, when we are in the deep sleep, still there is a Udana Vayu, means there is a set of Prana Shakti functions. They continue to function, and they actually allow us at the time when you have to wake up. When you wake up, we wake up into the same body. We wake up into the same Loka and experience, not slip away from here. How that is managed, even though from the layam when we come back, same way from the great merger, mahalayam, when that great merger happens, every loka is withdrawn into the pure supreme consciousness. Again, when the Brahma rises from there, this same configuration of the lokas, everything will come up. So that is the Pitru Devatas function. So these Pitru Devatas are the ones who govern the preta, means the death, basically. Once a person has dead, left the body, and again he will re-enter the body in some other loka, some other place, into some other body. The whole of that journey is governed by the Pitru Devatas. So that's how we are indebted to Pitru Devatas for allowing us to enter this body, perform these functions, everything. We are indebted to the rishis for giving all this knowledge in the form of Shastras, Puranas, and allowing us to understand and perform the Runa Vimochana. So because we are indebted, because we have the debt for this for this bodily existence, this experiential existence with all these possible experiences that are being there, we are indebted to them. That Runa will be formed. So how to, by performing Shraddha, a faithful thanksgiving to these Pitrus at that respective time when they are actively seeking such a thing. So in a given year, there are 96 Shraddha Tithis are there. So 15 mahAlaya Paksha is there, 12 number in the Amavasyas, other 12 Amavasyas, 12 Sankramanas, then 14 Manvantara Tithis, Manvantara, starting of Manvantara Tithis, then Kalpa start, Kalpadi Tithis, Manvantara Tithis, all these Tithis, we need to remember that, okay, all these, because they are the Sandhikalas, means they are the crossovers. We are crossing from one state to other state, one place to other place, the sun or moon, the Atma, self or the mind, their relative reflections are passing through a place to other place. These transitions are managed and maintained, managed, governed by Pitru Devatas. So the Shraddha need to be performed. Again, Shraddha can be performed with Parvana, means by calling a person to cook the food and give the food to that person, and then perform the ritual, that is the Parvana Shraddha. Or otherwise, if one cannot do this, Shastra gives alternatives in the karma. So Shastra is very clear about these 2 points. One point is there are alternatives in karma, but only the alternatives Shastra has suggested you have to take. It is not that I can take whatever alternative which comes to my mind. And there are no alternatives in Jnana. This is how it is. The truth will not change because I understood it wrongly. It won't change the truth because my understanding is wrong. Based on my wrong understanding, if I perform actions, those actions will give me wrong results. With right understanding, with the right alternatives given in the Shastra, one should perform the actions so that those actions will be fruitful. in the realm of subtle consciousness layer. So for the worldly layer, the dharma is pravritti lakshana dharma. You do good means you do good actions. The good actions will result in good results, which is punya, that will result in sukha. If you inflict harm on somebody, that will inflict harm into the environment. Obviously the pain is induced, that pain will come back to you. So that is as simple as that. By inducing pain, you will have to face that pain. By inducing pleasure, you will have to face that same pleasure back. So that is a fundamental principle. Okay, in jnana there are no alternatives. It is not that okay, it can be like this also, it can be like that also. It is not possible. So that is what Shastra is very clear about. But in karmas, if Shraddha cannot be performed with Parvana, Hiranya Shraddha can be performed. One can take Hiranyam is the root of every action, means the result of actions is money. Money are the value. That value is given to somebody who knows this Shastra and what to be done well and all those things. You give as dana, saying that okay, I am giving this dana as a requirement for my Hiranya Shraddha to my forefathers and all the pitru devatas. Let them be happy. With that intention, you give the Hiranya Shraddha. Or otherwise, the Shastra has said third alternative for Shraddha is Gograsa. You can give a fistful of grass to a cow and say, this grass I am giving it to this cow for the appeasement or for the benefit of my forefathers and pitru devas. Forefathers and pitru devas, they belong to one of the groups in the pitru devatas lokas. They will may they be satisfied, and we can give that. That is the third option. If all the three also cannot be done, even a fistful of grass cannot be obtained and a cow cannot be obtained to feed the cow, then there is a process called Aranya Rodhanam. Aranya Rodhanam means go to a forest or somebody where there is nobody is there. Then cry, shout loudly that I am a fool, I am useless, I am not able to perform the Shraddha as per the Shastra. So even I am not able to do all the other three alternatives. I have this fourth alternative I have chosen. So I am repenting for my such helpless, useless state of my situation, that I am not able to perform this Shraddha. But by listening to this, my Pitru Devatas and Pitru Loka be happy. So still it is Shraddha I have. So I know the process. I have understood it is not to be done. And because of unavoidable reasons, I am unable to perform. So I do the Aranya Rodhanam. Go to a place where it is a forest, nobody is there, and shout like this with paschatapa, means with the real feeling in hand that I am unable to perform that. So in these four ways, the Shraddha can be performed, Pitrus can be made happy, Runa can be removed, Runa can be adjusted or reduced. So that way, this Mahalayam Pitru Paksham is a great. So Rishis also have Pitrus, Devas also have Pitrus. Pitrus have Gurus or Rishis. So this Deva, Rishi and Pitru, this triangle is mutually dependent. So mutually related, interrelated. The Runas also mutually interrelated. That's why in Brihadharanyaka Bhashya, Shankara Bhagavad-pada mentions a wonderful, simple, small line. It says, Avidyavan hi Runi. So the conclusion is, Runa is only the Avidya. One who has ignorance of the true nature of the self is having Runa. So one who doesn't know the true nature of the self definitely has Runa. So Runa Vimochana can be performed by using actions, but not done with some desire. Actions without desire, actions of Shraddha. That which has been told in the Shastra, saying that by performing such a action, your Runa will be reduced, your Runa can be adjusted. So that way, the Pitru Paksha is a wonderful opportunity for each individual to perform this Shastrokta Pitru Karmas, thereby removing any possible obstacles, runas and vasanas. So the tendencies that come, the tendencies that develop in the individual to perform actions is because of these runas. To fulfill these runas, those pending actions are there. A person need to take birth and go through the death and go through the cycle of samsara. So to come out of the samsara, final goal of human form of life, or any form of life, any limited form of life, is to get the limitation removed by reaching that moksha. So for that, one can go through that path in this important period. So the Mahabharani, again, Bharani Nakshatra governed by Lord Yama, who governs the process of this death and handling the Prata's journey through these different lokas to their respective correct place. That nakshatra is Bharani, that Mahabharani Shraddha, which either happens for some calculations today or some calculations tomorrow. May that parva is utilized properly by all the people who have Shraddha in Sanatana Dharma, and may they realize those results with that simple intent. Swasti. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwaraya.